Welcome to the JP8 Report. This is James Pierce with the JP8 Report, episode 434, The Oyster Boy Quits. All right, guys, welcome to the JP8 Report. Forgive me, I am whacked. I got woken up at 2:15 this morning by my animals, the dogs and cats, and my cat wouldn't relent. Every time I try to lay down. So I had to go get labs this morning at the VA. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to tough it out. I left at 4:45 this morning to go get my labs done because they start at 6. I got down there, pulled my number, went and gave my ID card at 6 o'clock this morning. And the lady said, we drew your labs last week. We combined them with the others that you had to get. But nobody told me. Oh, my goodness. So I had to get back in my car and drive 40 minutes back home. And here I am. All right. So I'm going to tough it out. I'm racking out when I get done with the podcast this morning. Yeah, just bear with me. We can do this, okay? Welcome to the JP8 Report. I was going to lead off of live from free Podcastistan. This is James Pierce of the JP8 Report. Because, Dan Bongino was always talking about Podcastistan, the fake people out there that do the fake news and stuff. They don't know what they're talking about and stuff. But there's some of us that really know what we're talking about. And I'm one of them. So I live in free Podcastistan, okay? Instead of occupied Podcastistan. All right. So, hey, as we come into this and get started, if you're not already a follower of the podcast, there's a bell right beside where it says the JP8 Report. Click on the bell and then scroll down and then click the follow, okay? And that's how you become a follower. And then please also give me a like. Got 2 likes already. Cool. And then chat with us. I got people coming there and chat right now. We don't have anyone just signed on. Come on. But I got a few people to do. We like a whole lot more. Love to be like Vince and Dan Bongino and Graham Allen, and they have streams of people. They carry on full conversations while the podcast is going on. Sometimes I even wonder, are they even listening? Or are they just listening to themselves? I don't know. Because I'm one of them too. I'll get in there and I'll start typing in the chats. So, all right. So, welcome. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a cough drop. Maybe I'll feel better. So we got dueling news stories coming out. We got Plattner and we have Iran. So we're going to get both of them. I'm going to go through Iran first because that's the terminal. Okay. But America 250. On this date in 1776, July 9th, General George Washington assembled his troops in New York City to hear the first public hearing of the Declaration of Independence. Angry mobs from that reading toppled a statue of King George III, melted it down, and made thousands of musket balls to use in the upcoming battles. Made something of nothing, right? All right, that's good. As a first public reading in New York City by General George Washington of the Declaration of Independence on this day. All right, so that's good stuff. Next, the armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the armament shop is Copper's Cove's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes both online and in person. He has over 3 decades of experience, Visit the armament shop today at 115A West Avenue D, Coppers Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023, or visit them at www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop, your safety, our priority. All right. Excuse me, man. Man, everything's going wrong today. Okay, what did Ricky just say? I do not understand. Does that mean morning? Good morning? Is that what Ricky's saying on the chat? Okay. All right. I think it is. Verify that for me, Ricky. Okay. COVID for life. Translate. All right. So we have the Iran update. After renewed airstrikes, Iran reached out to the U.S. That's from President Trump. Iran parliament speaker, if you strike, you will get hit. Yeah, okay. Sticks and stones may break. Okay, never mind. Kuwait intercepted Iran missiles and drones yesterday. Bahrain's air defenses are on high alert. The president switched back to new Air Force One in the United Kingdom. I was telling my wife last night that's more of you told the State Department to remove Syria from the state sponsor of terrorism list. The stock market dropped 576 points yesterday. It closed at 52,348.39. I did tell y'all, take it from, I said, the drop is going to be between 750 and 1,000. And it was down like 856 points yesterday. And it bought back up. So, hey, man, that's geopolitics. West Texas Intermediate oil is at $72.46 a barrel, and then Brent crude oil is at $76.86. All right. Now I'm going to do my announcements real quick, and we're going to go into the rest of the news. That's an old Paul Harvey thing. All right. So we got today. Today is Pints and Politics at the All Good. It's in Cedar Park at 601 East Whitestone Boulevard at 6 p.m. And so that's Pints and Politics for you. Okay. Next is on the 16th of July, which would be next Thursday. There's Pints and Politics at Area 254 in Killeen. That's on South Fort Hood Street at I-14. Look for, it's in the old Kmart shopping center. Look for the Raising Cane sign. That's the shopping center it's in. Just go in the main door of Area 254, take a right, go to the staircase, go up the staircase, and you're there. 6 p.m. All right? We're going to backtrack one and then go back over here on the 14th, which is next Tuesday, is the Coppers Cove Conservative Club at 6 p.m. at Giovanni's. That's the club I help form. We're meeting there at 6 p.m. Good old conservative, social, just have some fun and talk politics and plan, especially around city council and school board. All right. The next one is Smoking Hot Conservatives, which is the 20th of July. That's going to be at the Leaf Affair in Killeen at 4110 South Clear Creek Road in Killeen. It starts at 6 p.m. If you like smoking cigars, go to that cigar shop called the Leaf Affair, and you'll be with like-minded conservatives and just have fun. All right. And the last one is on the 25th of July, Corio County Republican Women. They're going to have guest speaker at 11 a.m. at Trinity Worship Center in Coppers Cove. The address is 1802 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Their guest speaker is Dr. Mark Fulmer. He's going to be speaking on the geopolitical implications of in the greater context of the red-green axis or Islamicism. Okay? And I'm back. All right. So that's the Iran update, upcoming announcements. Should have a new one two new ones to put up pretty soon. All right, so we'll go over Iran first since we just got done with the Iran update. This is what Iran put out just a little bit ago. They warned the world, believe it or not. The IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, is boldly making statements to attempt to project power over the Strait of Hormuz on Thursday morning. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Navy, they don't have a navy, guys. Quit lying to your citizens. Warned Thursday that foreign powers have no stake in the Strait of Hormuz and said U.S. involvement in determining traffic routes through key waterway would draw a crushing response. In a statement, the IRGC Navy, which they don't have one, maybe it's those little model boats you give the little kids to play in the bathwater. Maybe that's their Navy. Maybe so. I have to call my daughter, ask if Nathaniel has some little toy boats that he plays with in the bathwater, and we can send them over to Iran so they can say they have a Navy. All right? But I digress. So the IRGC Navy accused Washington of adventurism and interference as tensions rise over commercial shipping in one of the world's most important oil corridors. The IRGC also claimed Iran has increased vessel transit through the strait over the last 2 weeks, but said recent U.S. actions had seriously disrupted the process in reopening the route. The guards add that transit capacity under Iran supervision had recovered about 50% of pre-war levels in the past 2 weeks, and that transit capacity was only being expanded for vessels granted permits to use routes designated by Iran. The warning comes as the U.S. and Iran trade routes and threats over maritime security in the Gulf, which Washington says its military operations are aimed at protecting commercial vessels and civilian mariners. Tehran has since taken effective control of the strait, allowing it to force a stalemate in the confrontation with the world's most powerful military. Oh, this was written by Reuters. That's why it's written like that. Okay. The U.S. has yet to learn that bullying and breaking its commitments are no longer come without a cost. Let me be clear. If you strike, you will be struck back. The Iran's top negotiator, Mohammed Bakr Khalib, wrote yesterday on X. And then he continued, the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened under Iranian arrangements, not through U.S. threats. This is unbelievable. I don't know. They must be smoking some serious hash or something over there, because they are out of their mind if they think. My question to the IRGC: if you think you're so credible and great for the Iranian people, why is it you've lost 170 targets in 2 days without nothing being sustained against the United States? I mean, that's a really good question. If you have an effective Navy, what are they doing? Are they fishing? Are they fishing for sharks or mantas like they got all over the Persian Gulf? I've seen them because I've flown over the Gulf before. What are they doing? Are they trout fishing? Crabbing? because they sure ain't providing security, because we're blasting the tar out of them. So you might want to cease what you're doing before you find a bomb on top of your head, Mr. ROGC Commanding General, because that's exactly what's going to happen to you. You're lucky I'm not the president, because if I was the president, I'd plant like 5 of those MEPs on the Quds Force headquarters and the ROGC headquarters and make it come to a crushing end. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there's always a but, I know. All right, next. Trump says Iran lies and cheats as ROGC emerges as a dominant force. Yeah. Okay. I got a comment. Do you think we should bomb or take Carg Island? That's coming from Luke. I think we could actually take Carg Island with minimum casualties. You're always going to sustain some type of casualties, but I think we could take Carg Island with minimum casualties, because if you bomb Carg Island and take out the oil infrastructure, you will put Iran back to the Stone Age in terms of economic output, and you will also increase the price of oil to about $160, maybe $180 a barrel, because that infrastructure can handle like 2 million barrels of oil a day. All right. And you don't want to destroy it, because when the ROGC is finally defeated and the spiritual leader is gone, you have the civilian people in Iran, they're going to need to be able to survive. And the only way they survive in that country is through oil exports. That's all they have to offer, besides Persian rugs. That's for another day right there. But I would say don't bomb it. Maybe you could blockade it to keep the military from doing anything from there. Because if you don't, Luke, if you didn't know where Carg Island is, it's not in the Strait of Hormuz. You have to go into the Persian Gulf and go almost to the very top of where the Persian Gulf is, and that's where Carg Island is. Okay? All right. Thanks a lot, man. So President Trump voiced growing frustration Wednesday with the Iranian negotiators, accusing them of lying and cheating. And the latest escalation has exposed an even more fundamental problem for Washington: whether the officials at the negotiating table have even the power to deliver an agreement, or whether anyone in Tehran does. I don't know if if we're going to have a deal. We just do it with, or we may just do it without a deal. Trump said at the NATO summit in Ankara. These people, they lie and they cheat. But Trump's frustration with Iran negotiators is only part of the problem, since the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei it has become increasingly unclear who in Tehran has the authority to make and enforce an agreement. Muqtada Khomeini succeeded his father as supreme leader after the elder Khomeini was killed in the opening U.S.-Israel attacks on February 28th. But Muqtada has not been appeared publicly since the attack, and U.S. assessments cited by Reuters has described the authority as dispersed among senior Revolutionary Guard commanders and powerful civilian officials. Parliament Speaker Mohammed Bagher Khalib, a former IRGC commander who led Iran's negotiating delegation, has emerged as one of the country's most powerful surviving political figures. Banafsesh Zind, an Iranian-American journalist and editor of the Iran So Far Away Substack, said power inside the Islamic Republic has fractured since the death of the Ayatollah, since leaving the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps of the country's dominant force, which I agree. The person who is negotiating with the U.S. is not necessarily someone who is endorsed by the others. She described Galef as one of the power center competing with figures of the IRGC Commander-in-Chief Ahmed Vahidi, the Quds Force Commander Ismail Khani, and former Foreign Minister Mohammed Javed Zarif. All three of them are marked men. Vahidi controls the IRGC's overall military structure. He'd be the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, while Khani oversees external operations in relationships with Iran-backed armed groups across the region. That would be i.e. Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah. Okay. By contrast, remains closely identified with the more accommodationalist political camp that previously championed negotiations and sanctions relief. So basically, you got a junta that's forming in Iran, and they're taking the civilian structure out. And you can look at it like this, okay? Take the junta part out. Look at it like this. In England, you have the monarchy. You have King Charles, right? King Charles III, right? Underneath him is the parliament. You got the members of parliament, and you got the upper chamber. I forgot what they call the upper chamber now. House of Lords, I think it is, right? Well, look at it like that. That is a good example of what looks like it's forming in Iran. So in England, you have a constitutional monarchy, right? They have the Magna Carta, which gives all the power to that was under King John, right? A long time ago. So that establishes the monarchy is the monarchy, but it's not a powerful one. It's like more in name only. Nowadays, it's more in name only, but their power structure diminished over the centuries, right? So basically, all the power rests in the parliament, and then you had the figurehead constitutional monarchy, right? Well, go back over here to Iran. You have the spiritual leader and his advisors and stuff. And they once had complete control over the country, but their power is diminishing, right? And you have a whole new crop of leadership coming up, and they're taking control from the monarchy, which would be the theocracy part of Iran, and that's what looks like it's forming. So spiritual leader can say all he wants. He can say, I agree, I don't agree. But the money is made on the guy that puts his name on the document, and that would be the commander of the Quds Force, or the main guy, Vadi. Okay? Let me say his name one more time. I can't find his full name. But his last name is Vadi. Okay, but yeah, so he's the main guy. So that's what we're dealing with. You find the man, put the bomb on the man is gone. We win. All right. And then the president said the military strikes will resume, will continue, and that the first set was a complete success. President Donald Trump called the American military operation in Iran a tremendous military success on Wednesday at a news conference, concluding his time at the 2026 NATO summit. He also called the conflict a war, though it has yet to be declared a war by Congress. This week, the president said that the ceasefire with Iran in the memorandum of understanding that was supposed to be a precursor to a long-standing peace deal between the countries was over and indicated there would be more likely more strikes on Iran Wednesday night, which did. Uh, Less than a month ago, the U.S. signed a 14-point agreement establishing conditions for both countries to abide by until a lengthy, legally binding long-term deal was made. So we don't know. It's the 9th. Negotiations is supposed to start back up on the 11th. Is it going to happen, right? If a tree falls in the woods, let's see. Now, the United States, despite explicit provision in the fifth clause of this memorandum, which emphasizes that the Islamic Republic of Iran's responsibility in determining arrangements for the safe passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, has challenged its clause. That's what the Iranian foreign minister said. Hold on. Wow. Jeb Bush praises President Trump for crippling Iran. Oh my goodness. Wow. If you don't know, Jeb Bush was crushed by President Trump back in 2016. And that was so bad that both President Bushes refused to endorse President Trump after that happened. Okay. Wow. That's pretty good. All right. So what was I going at? Hey, I tell you what, we are destroying Iran. Another 2 nights of this tonight, and I don't know if they will attack them on a day of prayer. On Fridays is the day of prayer in the Muslim world. I don't know, but a couple more days of this heavy bombing, it might drive them back, especially if they plant a bomb on the top of the Quds Force commander. Take him out of the scene. All right, next, where are we at? Tyler Robinson. This is Luke's low energy Jeb. Hey, if you didn't know, Luke, Jeb is not his name. Okay? His name is John Ellis Bush Jr. Okay? Just so you know. Not Jr., but John Ellis Bush after his grandfather. Okay. So, next, Tyler Robinson. Today, this is going to be a quick one. But Lance Twiggs, he's the gay lover of Tyler Robinson, who Tyler Robinson allegedly confessed that he did kill Charlie Kirk. That video, an edited version of that video, is going to be shown in the court today during the preliminary hearing. So it's like 32 minutes, and they're going to edit like 12 minutes out of it or something like that. Okay. They were going to play yesterday, but it got delayed, so it's going to go out today. So in Utah, they don't have a grand jury system. In Utah, they use these preliminary hearings, right? So in a regular grand jury, like you hear all the time, you can indict a ham sandwich in a grand jury. Yeah, because in a grand jury, the prosecution is the only lawyer allowed in there, and allowed to do work before the judge, and he presents his case, and he presents it in a fashion to convince the jurors to pass an indictment to charge the person that's being indicted, right? Well, in Georgia, in Utah, and some other states, you have to prove before a judge, just a judge, not the jurors, why you have enough evidence to take something to trial and to charge the defendant with the crime, right? This is why this is happening. And the judge said yesterday that this will be done by 5 p.m. their time tomorrow. But he will not issue a judgment at 5 p.m. tomorrow for the preliminary hearing. He said he will write it out and at a future date. I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Charlie Kirk didn't choose when he wanted to die, so why should we allow the defense to choose the day that they want to go to trial? I mean, just get it over with, right? But he said he's going to write out his opinion on whether there's enough evidence to take this case to trial, and then ask for um, um, what he pleads, guilty or not guilty, right? Um, so, a video testimony from Lance Twiggs, the former gay lover of suspected Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson, will be played Thursday morning as a week-long preliminary hearing nears its end. Like I said, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Utah time. I think it's Mountain time. Prosecutors intended to play it Wednesday, but after a series of objections from the defense, Judge Tony Graff Jr. called for redactions, and prosecutors said they would rather wait until the morning to ensure they would comply with the court order before playing it. Charlie's widow, Erica Kirk, shared several emotional embraces with her mother-in-law, Kathy Kirk, and was also wiping away tears when the family attorney, Jeff Neiman, asked the court to play the unredacted video for the world to see. He shouldn't have been playing for the cameras. He should have been playing for the judge, and the judge would probably allow it to be played. And Erica Kirk was crying during the whole thing that was going on. Man, that's I would probably end up crying if I was over by her, because this is so horrendous for her to go through, man. But yeah, so this will all wrap up tomorrow afternoon, and hopefully it won't be long, and he'll have to plead not guilty or guilty. It's his right to plead either way. He needs to go ahead and plead guilty to get this over with. All right. All right, next. Oyster Boy. All right, here we go. Low energy Jeb. You crack me up, Luke. Okay, we're halfway through the podcast. If you have not already hit that like button, please click the like button. That's a thumbs up. You're welcome, Luke. I'll do it again tomorrow, too. And then give me a thumbs up for the show today, guys, please. And then if you're not already a follower of the podcast, go to that bell, scroll down, click that follow button, and you're in. All right? All right. Let's get back to business. Oyster Boy quit last night. Well, he said he was quitting. He's suspending his campaign, but he already won the primary, which means he's got to do all this stuff before he can be officially taken out of the race before Monday night, right? So there's always a chance he can say, I'm thumbing on those, I'm taking it on, but he's got less than $100,000 in his campaign account because the donors took all that money back, all right? This is Biden 2.0. Like I said yesterday, I cannot stand the man. He's a fraud. He's a communist. He's a no-good Marine veteran that despises veterans. Breaking news. Hold on. Hold on. I always read breaking news. Hold on. Wow. That's breaking news. Hold on. Let it build up. Come on. Okay, so what it was saying, and I'm waiting for it to come up. Man, Fox News, I tell you. Well, from what I was seeing on here, this is important news. Hold on, guys. This is more important than, what's his name? Oyster Boy there. It's not even on our main stuff here. Oh, okay. So I know what it said. But Erica Kirk is demanding the judge allow the unredacted version of the video to be played in the preliminary hearing. Okay, that's what that's what was just put out on Fox News. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so Plattner. Let's get back to the Oyster Boy guy. So last night he put out a 10-minute video crying and stuff about how he's been done wrong, and which he is, right? Because he legitimately won the primary. But look at it like this. Democrats are known for this. They did it in 2016. They basically told Bernie Sanders, step aside. We want Hillary Clinton to run for president. He stepped aside, right? 2020, Bernie Sanders was going to win again. But here comes Joe Biden. Hey, Bernie Sanders, you need to step aside. We all want Joe Biden to run for president. And he did. 2024 came. Joe Biden, or the person he thinks he is, because he's President Autopen, got whooped by President Trump in a debate. Then they said, oh, we don't want Joe Biden now. Well, we're going to select Kamala Harris. And Joe Biden capitulated and said, you know what? I'll sit this one out. And then Kamala Harris got beat. So we have Clinton got beat and Harris got beat. And then Plattner was going to get beat by Susan Collins. And now Plattner is like, well, I don't have nothing to run on because I don't have no money. So I'm gonna suspend my campaign. But he won the primary. Joe Biden, he did not have a certified win. Well, yeah, he did. No, because it was before the convention, so he hadn't been able to accept his nomination. Mr. Oyster Boy did. He was the official candidate that was going to go before him. Now, what they said, the Democrat Party in Maine said, we're putting together a 600-person convention, and we're going to select a new nominee to run against Senator Collins. What? What? Really? Why? What happened to all these voters that voted for Plattner to make the choice? Why don't you just put together a primary, put up some ballots, say there's not going to be any mail-in ballots. Y'all are all going to come to the polls for this one, and do it again without his name on there. Makes sense to me, right? Susan Collins is going to win this race because this is what's going to happen. They forced Plattner out of this race, even though he's a knucklehead, he's incompetent, he's not qualified, he's potentially criminal, but he was never charged. He had all these allegations to come out at him, and no one ever filed a legal charge against him. Let me say that again. There were no silver bracelets put around his wrist to bring him in for rape or sexual assault. How does that make sense? They blackmailed him into stepping down from this race. So this is what's going to happen, okay? Oyster Boy is going to go down with the ship, right? And he's going to take all those young communist voters that were going to vote for him with him. They are not going to vote in November. Watch. They will not go to the polls in November because he wasn't a DSA guy. And the DSA made that perfectly clear last night. We did not endorse Plattner. He's a communist that ran on the Democrat ticket, and he had a lot of support from a lot of people. A lot of young people in Maine wanted him to become governor. There were people out there that said they didn't care about his legal violation. They were going to vote for him anyway. So the Democrats forced him to sit down. The Republicans, not so much, but there was a lot of talk from podcasters and stuff. But like I said yesterday, I would have left him in the race so he could get ultimately crushed in the upcoming election, because that's what the people of Maryland wanted. They wanted him, right? Now they're not going to get him because he quit. He's going to go back to oyster farming, probably. Be a poor oyster boy, even though he's 100% disabled. So he's going to have about $4,100 a month come in. He'll be all right, I think. Right? You can go grab those oysters. I've never been oyster farming. I don't know how it is. But yeah, so Graham Plattner stepped aside last night, and the odds are favored that Troy Jackson, he was the Maine Senate majority leader, I think it is. But that's who they're betting is going to take his place. That's who Graham Plattner wants to take his place. But right now, you're going to have a convention of 600 Democrats come together and choose the next candidate, even though he won't stand for election. All right. Tellerico here in Texas. James Tellerico, state representative from Round Rock, which I cannot believe the way he is. But what he did was he actually, it's already 8:42. Already got the raid ready to go for Dan Bongino, so we'll be good on that. So he struck up a controversy with trans groups, right? So Democrat Senate candidate James Tellerico is facing questions about fundraising with a female-to-male top surgeon who previously operated on minors shortly after saying that he does not support same-sex change surgeries for children. Tellerico, a progressive Democrat, state lawmaker, and Presbyterian Cimmerian, is running a highly competitive race to flip Texas Senate seat for the first time in decades. He is opposing Republican State Attorney General Ken Paxton. The seat is critical to both parties, hoping of holding a Senate majority in the next session. During an appearance on the Unity Over Division podcast on June 8th, that has to be a month ago, Tellerico responded to criticisms that he supports gender transitioning for minors by stating, "I oppose gender reassignment surgery for minors." Days later, he participated in Austin Pride for Tellerico fundraiser that featured Dr. Dustin Reed, a female-to-male breast surgeon who confirmed to Fox News that he previously operated on minors in rare cases prior to Texas banning the practice. He said that he no longer performs these surgeries in line with Texas law. And speaking to Fox News Digital over the phone, Reed confirmed his participation in the event to support Tellerico and said, "In the past, on a case-by-case basis, I would do female-to-male surgeries on minors, but not since it became illegal in Texas." His practice's website currently states he does not follow the World Professional Association for Transgender Health standards for patients under the age 18, and he clarified in line with WPATH's guidelines, he previously performed female-to-male surgeries on minors, saying it was rare but not completely unheard of. All right. So he's another one of those frauds. It's only a matter of time stuff comes out about him, and he's going to request a withdrawal and let someone be appointed to be the next candidate in line to get beat by Ken Paxton. All right. Man, I still can't believe that happened last night with Oyster Boy. Wow. I thought it would go stretch all the way into Monday. And for the torture I put myself through this morning, I went ahead and got Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Okay. All right. So next week, Todd Blanche is going to have his confirmation hearing to be the next Attorney General. It'll be July 15th at 9 a.m. It's going to be at the Hart Senate Office Building. He was nominated, Todd Blanche was nominated for Attorney General by the President in June. And he's been serving as the acting Attorney General since Pam Bondi. It says here that she was fired, but she was reassigned because she still works inside the federal government. All right. Palm Beach Airport officially becomes Trump International. Anymore, it's Trump International Airport. All right. TIA. Thanks in advance. I hope it does. I hope those airport name, those letter acronym is not TIA. I really hope not. Thanks in advance. All right. I say some of the craziest things here sometimes. The Senate Judiciary Committee sent out a notice Wednesday that acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's confirmation hearing will be next week. It'll be at 9 a.m. July 15th at the Hart Senate Office Building. President Trump nominated Blanche for the role last month. He previously served as the Deputy Attorney General. Blanche also acknowledged his work as Trump's personal lawyer in his Senate questionnaire, noting his role as representing Trump in the Stormy Daniels hush money trial and the former special counsel Jack Smith's cases, which he listed among the most significant. And he also highlighted in his role in litigating the administration's use of the Enemy Aliens Act to justify deportations and the fate of the new White House ballroom. Okay? So next week, Todd Blanche on Wednesday at 9 a.m. over in the Senate. All right? He should win nomination. There's got to be some Democrats that can vote for him because he's an all-around great lawyer. All right? 8:49. We're still doing pretty good. Jack Smith. I bet y'all. Well, let's go. We won't do Jack Smith yet. We'll go that one. The D.C. pipe bomber that was finally arrested after 4 years of non-existent FBI investigation techniques. Right. So what's his name? James Cole or something like that. I didn't get a chance to read this. I was like, I got to have this one on. Federal judge yesterday scheduled a trial on February 2027 for Brian Cole Jr., who has been charged with planting pipe bombs near national headquarters of the Democrat and the Republican parties on the eve of January 6, 2021. U.S. District Judge Amir Ali said the trial will take place February 16th. It lasts about 2 weeks. According with the Associated Press, Cole's defense attorney said they have not discussed the possibility of a plea deal with prosecutors to resolve the race. Because if you didn't know, the vast majority of cases, both civil and criminal, are pled out. Okay? They just are. A settlement. The date comes after the judge ruled Monday that President Donald Trump's blanket pardon of Rogers did not apply to Mr. Cole. That's very true. All right? He did his before January 6th. On the first day, okay, we already read that part. All right? So, Brian Cole, Nothing exploded. I would see I bet he gets about 20 to 40 in prison. All right, we'll see. But so February 2027 is when the trial date is. That's 8 months from now. What is it? July, August, September, October, November, December, January, for 7 months from now. All right, now Jack Smith, 851. Jack Smith's team may have exposed classified info while probing Trump for allegedly doing the same. All right. So we know who Jack Smith is, right? Jack Smith ran the case for the January 6th stuff, and he ran the case for the classified document stuff down in Florida, right? So new documents released by Senator Chuck Grassley, chairman of the Judiciary Committee, shows that employees of the Department of Justice, including those working for then Special Counsel Jack Smith, may have mishandled classified information while probing Donald Trump for allegedly doing the same. Messages involved personnel in Jack Smith's Special Counsel office raised serious concerns about the Biden administration's failure to properly secure classified materials. Grassley wrote in a short letter to Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche on Wednesday. Really? Wow. Okay. How do you... Okay. The case was dismissed in July 2024. In a letter, Grassley requested more information. The documents published by the senator show the Justice Department officials raised concern that some individuals receive access to classified information without the required need-to-know authorization. They also show that a secure facility used for the special counsel staff was left open overnight. That's a jailable offense right there, totally. Okay, in regards to the need to know, because a lot of people here watch this, and other ones they don't know what need to know means, right? So when you have classifications of material, I mean, you may get a whole slew of them. You will have a whole slew of them that say top secret, secret, and then top secret, right? But just because you have clearance doesn't mean you have access. It's called being read on to the program. If they don't want you to be part of the program, they can read you off of it. All right? If you can look at it like let's pretend my wife's making eggs out there in the kitchen right now, right? But I don't need to know that. She ain't going to tell me, and I won't know, right? But if I did need to know, she would have told me before I went in there and did the podcast that, hey, be on time, and we're going to have breakfast together, right? So, but I wasn't read on, so I don't know if I'm actually going to have breakfast out there, even though I already had breakfast. Shh, don't tell her I had Chick-fil-A, all right? But that's how need to know means. In different echelons of the government works the same route because you have eyes on, no foreign, which means no foreign release, all kinds of different classification levels and stuff, which they are so classified for special activities programs, SAPs, that you can't tell someone unless they've been actually read on to that program where they can actually do stuff in it. But when you're done, they'll read you off the program. Like when I left Camp David, right? I got read off some programs that were really, really up there, right? But I was read off, and the NDA I signed said I would not disclose what I learned, and I've already pretty much forgotten all of it anyway because it was crazy because they read me off, and I had already forgotten about it. It's like, now I know about it again. Like, why did you do that, right? But yeah, they read you off, and then it makes you sign an NDA like 50 years or 75 years or something like that. and you can't discuss it with people, right? Uh, that's an object to be read on and read off. All right. I hope that's clear as mud. Jack Webb may be in trouble, especially with leaving the skiff open. Oh man. Let's see. Nevada Republicans. I thought I read this one yesterday. Something about in Nevada, as in most states, some American citizens born abroad can vote in states even if they've never lived there. They can do so as long as Nevada is their parents' most recent home before leaving the U.S. The Nevada Republican Party has sued the state and federal court over the voting rights of these individuals, saying they violate the state constitution. The law, which has seen as a victory for military families when it was originally passed, but the recent lawsuit came as a mid to wider push upon national Republicans against overseas voters. The lawsuit filed by the RNC, but not Nevada Republican Party, said the law violated the state constitution requirement for voters to have lived outside the Nevada. It says Nevada may not create a bona fide Nevada voters outside of individuals who have never resided in Nevada, solely by reference of a parent's historical voting eligibility. I read that was on June 29th, part of the complaint. Residency is not inherited and cannot be established by proxy. An individual who has never personally made Nevada his or her home necessarily has not actually resided in the state. The Nevada Constitution says residents must live in the state for 6 months to vote. They got a good point. That's exactly a really, really good point. They may win this race. If you want it different, you got to go inside the legislature and explicitly say that, especially for FRCA voters, military voters on a federal postcard ballot. But they're going to have to change their laws if they want this to happen, right? But within a Republican-led assembly, I don't think that's going to happen. All right, what time we got? We got 8:58. How close? It's going on 8:59. All right, so thank y'all very much for tuning in today. If you are in the Cedar Park, which is just north of Austin or in the Georgetown area, you know where Cedar Park is. Go back and review the beginning. And Cedar Park is the location. Oh, it's on Whitestone in Cedar Park. To go to Pints and Politics this evening and have some fun at 6 p.m. All right. So we got that done right there. It's 8:59. I'm going to go ahead and initiate the raid over the Dan Bongino, and I will see y'all tomorrow morning on the morning brief, and at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m. Central. All right. I just confirmed the raid. It's initiated. We got 10 seconds. So I'll catch you on the flip side. See you tomorrow morning. This is James Pierce. I'm out.